We was out at Stanford University one night, and they was out at Fillmore West. And we got a chance to get together then, and what a group. Oh, Jesus Christ. You know, I knew I had a lot to learn when I saw them play then. And in regards to what Eric and them said about me, I still think they're one of the greatest three-piece groups that you ever seen.
My first time hearing Cream, I believe, was in about 1967. About the same time I heard Jimi Hendrix. I was living in Virginia at the time, near Newport News. And I heard the album Disraeli Gears. I heard that before I heard Fresh Cream, and I went back and I found Fresh Cream, and it was a whole different kind of music for me, you know. And so, you know, just like Jimi Hendrix's music was really different. It was strange, but what I liked about it is the fact that there was a lot of blues involved in the music, and I thought it was pretty cool. Jack Bruce and his wailing vocals, I mean, I thought that was really great, and the way he played bass, nobody else was playing bass like that at that particular time.
Hendrix and us basically had created this very large audience of people who had turned on to instrumental, vocal, loud, whatever you want to call it, music, rock and roll, I guess, blues with blues in it.
First time I heard him was actually on the radio. I think it was Sunshine of Your Love, and being a drummer, it's just listening to how unique at that time that the drumming was. It blew me away. I mean, it was simple, but yet it was complicated. But more importantly, it had a lot of feel to it.
Rolling Stone wrote an article in, I think, 1967 or 68. It was, "Will Cream stand the test of time?" It did, and it will, I think. It was really something extraordinarily good that happened musically.
I think it was one of the early heavy metal bands, probably, without knowing it. You know, because when we disbanded Cream and they weren't around anymore, Led Zeppelin filled the voids, and they became the first kind of official heavy metal band. So maybe Cream was the forerunner of that.
It was just an exciting thing overall to hear them playing together, and you could see the possibilities. And of course, it didn't take very long before it all gelled together, and they found the things that didn't work and they found the things that did work, and took off from there. And from that point on, of course, it was an extremely exciting thing, as everybody knows. everybody was such a close-knit musical community. Everybody had to live in London if you wanted to work. And I'd been so familiar with Jack's playing right from the very start when he was with Alexis Korner's Blues Incorporated, and a couple of years before that when he was going around on the jazz circuit playing upright bass with Ginger and Graham Bond. So I mean, I'd heard, you know, Jack Bruce for years, so I was well familiar with him as a person and as a player.
I mean, I'd been playing with Ginger for a long time. We were kind of far out, free jazz rhythm section. We used to play places like the Flamingo. It's kind of Ornette Coleman kind of free jazz, really. And but we also, you know, then we had the R&B thing with Graham. There was some festival or other that the Yardbirds were playing at, and we all sort of sat in. That's the first time I met Eric.
He played with the Yardbirds, and we were all on the same circuit of pubs and clubs at the time. And probably about a year before he joined me and left the Yardbirds, you know, he wasn't that remarkable, but you know, obviously he was the only one you would look for if you were going to hear the Yardbirds at that time, and if you were a blues lover. But it was just remarkable, really, how quickly Eric progressed, and that was probably because he had no one to play with. So he put a lot of time in listening to records and getting his foundations right. When Eric left the Yardbirds, it was great because he didn't really live anywhere, you see, so I had a spare room at my house, and that enabled him to have free access to, you know, my huge, at that time, record collection, which was, you know, pretty hefty blues archive. So he felt it right at home in more ways than one. And then we did listen to so many records together and get excited about them, and they found their way into the repertoire.
I especially like the blues material that he did, like, you know, the live album that came out with Crossroads on it, and Spoonful. Those were songs that, you know, I had to spend a whole lot of time in my bedroom listening to what was going on. I thought those were great numbers.